Hello again, everyone, and welcome to False Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Erik Dunn running solo again this week, much calmer and much more in control of everything versus where I was a week ago with the weather that drove me nuts and things that didn't really go according to plan. Um, for those that stuck out there with it for me last week, I do appreciate it. As this week, as it's just me, we're going right into WWE, and we are going there for about the next 25, 30 minutes or so. And Raw had some interesting moments this week. SmackDown was a shocker on Friday night, and that concerned the long-awaited return home of the great one, The Rock, and a moment that I never thought we would ever see again on live WWE television. And I'll be breaking all this down for you throughout our time together. So, with that being said, I'd like to inform all of you at this time that this broadcast of False Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Rhode Island Broadcasting for the private uses of our audience, and any publications, reuses, or redistributions by anyone is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared and is greatly appreciated. And also, as a side note, False Count Anywhere live every Wednesday at 5, right here on Facebook, X, which used to be Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, and Red Circle, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and TuneIn podcasts. So, without any more hesitation, let's dive right in and let's get this done. So, WWE was not afraid to step up big time. I mentioned either last week or the week before that TKO is a company that was combined by UFC and WWE. So, of course, I thought that we would expect changes here and there, but it was nothing to the extent I expected. And it was awesome. So, let me break this down for you guys one by one here. Starting off with the SmackDown results. After almost 4 long years, the People's Champion has come back home to WWE. So we all were very surprised with the return of commentator Pat McAfee. Uh, he was doing College Game Day on ESPN. That was an hour. That was basically an hour away from Denver, and we saw The Rock on there that morning. I didn't really think of any of it. I really didn't think that they were going to show up at all. That wasn't really what going on in my head. I was like, okay, it's awesome. But Pat shows up. He had unfinished business with Austin Theory. But guess who comes out after that? After 4 long years, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is back home again where he belongs. The Rock comes home. It was a very interesting segment. It was interesting. Rock humbled Theory drastically, and he dismantled him with the help of Pat McAfee with double people elbows. It was something to behold. It really was something cool. And moving on down the line here. Um, After that, it was Finn Balor who defeated AJ Styles, of course, with help from the Judgment Day. Um, and then Rey Mysterio agreed to grant the LWO Santos Escobar a U.S. title opportunity, but then they got interrupted by Lashley and the Street Profits. And what happened was, after the four-man tag, the tag team, I think Lashley and the Profits turned heel because they had a post-match attack on that team, on LWO. Not what I was expecting. And then in the rematch that we saw at Payback with LA Knight and The Miz, LA Knight conquered the A-lister with an earth-shattering blood force trauma, and then as the dust cleared, the BFT, Knight picked up the mic and put out a bold challenge to every champion in WWE. I think it's safe to say that LA Knight, he wants that title. You know what I mean? LA Knight wants to be champion again, and he's not going down without a fight. Like, it's blatantly obvious to see he's not going anywhere. He's not letting this get away from him. I see that. And LA Knight, as I mentioned to you before, deserves to be champion. He deserves it. And Asuka defeated Bayley, and that was a big win for her heading into her title opportunity for this week's SmackDown against WWE Women's Champion Io Sky. This one is where John Cena got phenomenal. John Cena gets phenomenal. Listen to this as well. So he was a guest on the Grayson Waller effect, and Jimmy Uso launched a 2-on-1 attack on Cena with Solo. And guess who came down to save him? One of his best rivals in the late 2010s, AJ Styles. The phenomenal one. Of all the people to save Cena, it was AJ. I want you guys to think back to 2016 and 17 for a second here, maybe even 18 a little bit. When Cena came back that year after he had his shoulder surgery, 2016 was when Styles debuted in WWE and he signed. Cena's first night back on Raw, AJ comes out. And that was when you had signs of the club with Gallows and Anderson. Then you fast forward to that entire year. The entire year was him and AJ going at it. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, No Mercy, and Triple Threat match with then Dean Ambrose. 2017, the Royal Rumble. And Cena became a 16-time champion because he beat him for the WWE title there. Then 2018 at Fastlane. I would have never thought that Cena and AJ would be allies, maybe even friends at that point. And from what I understand is, for this week's SmackDown, I don't know what could happen, but I'm liking the direction of where this is going, though, with Cena and AJ. If those two become a tag team at some point, and they get a couple of matches in here and there, that's a pretty damn way for Cena to have his run right now. Because don't forget, Cena is on SmackDown until Halloween. So we still get the fall of Cena. And for what I saw, that thing with AJ was a great way for him to end the night, but that wasn't even the best part. You guys know about Cena and Rock's rivalry. A rivalry that goes back to 2011 when he returned after 7 years in 2004 when he left to be the host of WrestleMania 27. Those two were the main event for the next year WrestleMania 28 in Miami. That was announced a year before the actual dates of WrestleMania. They went at it in the main event of WrestleMania the year after in New York in 29. And then you fast forward 3 years later, Cena comes back from his shoulder surgery, saves Rock from the Wyatt family, God rest Bray Wyatt's soul. And 7 years later, Cena and Rock both see each other face to face. It was one of the most incredible moments I've seen that I think sums up Cena's career. Is you could have all the enemies in the world and the rivals in the world, but friends and love and respect grow from those rivals. Cena and Rock, two halves of some of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. Two of the greatest to ever be in WWE and probably in this business. Two Hall of Famers, bona fide first ballot Hall of Famers, hugging on live WWE TV and embracing. It was so surreal to see a moment like that because we all know the hatred that came from that rivalry. We all know how much they despised each other at a few points. It was one of the most coolest moments I've seen in Cena's career. I mean, you guys think back to 2014 when he hugged Edge when he returned with Edge and Christian doing with the Authority. You remember that when Cena and Orton hugged when he got fired in 2010. I mean, you've seen some cool, damn cool moments. And I think regarding Cena, he's not done with those moments yet. I think he's far from it. And I'm pumped to see what else he's got in that arsenal of his. I just wanted to point out that that was a cool way that SmackDown started and how SmackDown ended. It was cool as hell. It was awesome. The only thing I hope for is that they give Cena the run he deserves and he gets the opportunities that he never got. But as I said to you guys earlier, Falls Count Anywhere is live every Wednesday at 5 on Red Circle, Amazon, Google, Spotify, Amazon, and on TuneIn Podcasts as well. Facebook, Twitter, X, and YouTube. So definitely stay tuned, guys, every week and help us grow this. Because as we get closer to Fastlane, which is now in, looking at the calendar here, is now in 2.5 weeks. We're getting closer for me to unveil that card. So with that being said, we need to take our break here. And when we come back, I'm going into the Raw results from this Monday night. But to give you a little teaser of that, here's what I got to tell you. KO, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn had a little bit of a conversation with Cody Rhodes after Cody fed off the Judgment Day, and KO and Sami helped him. We all know what Kevin Owens feels when it comes to the bloodline and the 3 years of hell he was put through. Kevin basically said he can't trust Jay, but Sami can. Cody can, somewhat. So the big question is, how will it all shake out? Did Jey Uso join Judgment Day, or did he turn them away too? So when we come back, I've got the Raw results right here. I'm going to break down everything about Jay, break down everything to do regarding Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, getting a little bit further up the card again, and I'll even break it down for you, Judgment Day's reaction to Jay's official decision. And then on top of that, I got some more information on Becky Lynch retaining her NXT Women's title, and an update on Seth Rollins' back and his injuries going on. And this will all be coming at you guys when we do come back. It was a great night for WWE from the Raw perspective. I've got some highlights from this that I want to break down and give you guys. So I'll be breaking all that down for you as we are getting prepared to officially make the turn for home and officially say goodbye just in a little bit. With a word from Lighthouse Productions, Rhode Island, and Rhodes Love Wedding Services, and a word from the Rhode Island Broadcasting Station. You guys are listening and watching to Falls Count Anywhere, and I will be right back.
If you're looking for an entertainment company to help you with your event of any kind, feel free to check out Lighthouse Productions, Rhode Island. Providence-based company serving all of New England, providing you entertainment needs in the areas of sound, lighting, photo booth, photography, videography, drone videography, monograms, slideshows, and of course, DJ sound. As a special bonus, we also have wedding officiant services through Road to Love Wedding Services in conjunction with Lighthouse Productions to provide you all of your wedding needs. Don't need a wedding? Fantastic. You need music or a reason to have entertainment or a party of any kind? We can handle all budgets and all sizes and all different types of venues. With COVID, there's 100% money back guarantee for any type of cancellation and rescheduling needs. Check us out at lighthouseproductionsri.com. Lighthouse Productions, Rhode Island, your entertainment source for all of New England.
Once again, another time to commercial and another time to break, with the music following right behind it. Welcome back to Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Erik Dunn here. Again, I'm riding solo, but that's okay. I'm used to it anyway. And in case you're wondering what shirt I'm wearing, as you can see on this corner here, this is my Yes Sir. And I have the usual Kalen Pin Bowling League at the Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis. And, this is a 33-week league, so I'm very excited to be back in there again, back on the lane, doing something I love to do. And yeah, the comment always alone. Well, no, I'm not always alone. Well, not in life at least. This show I am, yes. But hey, you know what though? I've gotten used to it. You know, it's all right. But that's why when it comes to this show, I still want to give you guys a good product. I want to give you guys at least 25, 30 minutes. But when I'm on a time crunch and I got to get out of there here to avoid traffic, I have to go. But that doesn't mean I'm going to hide anything from you guys regarding WWE either. Because you guys know, WWE has been my specialty for years. When I first started having to backtrack into the beginning stages of the Attitude Era, go in through the Ruthless Aggression Era, work my way up. So I'm excited to be here with you guys and give you everything that you need to be prepared for this Friday Night SmackDown and next Monday Night's Raw. So also get you guys in on this too is as I'm going down the line here before I get into the results from Raw this week. I also want to give you guys what is happening with Raw on Friday, and it's this. So this is regarding what happened with Cena when AJ came out to help him. So last week, Cena came face to face with his foe turned friend, The Rock. He also made an explosive appearance on the Grayson Waller Effect, where he stood side by side with another of his iconic rivals, AJ Styles. What will happen when Cena grabs the microphone and hits the ring? So what we know is this: Cena's going to be looking for some retribution, and you know what? I've got a strange feeling that he's not done with the Bloodline. I've got that feeling in the back of my mind. Cena's not done with the Bloodline yet. He's not done with Reigns. I don't know if that's just a hunch or maybe that's just a feeling, but Cena deserves to get number 17 or at least become a Grand Slam champion and win the IC title. I mean, maybe that's just my opinion, but Cena is one of the most loved superstars in the history of this business. So, that's all I got to say about that. And now we're on to the Raw results from this Monday night. So I'll start from up and down with you. So Dirty Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day verbally sparred with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And in a rematch for Money in the Bank, Rhodes defeated Dominic. So this was in that rematch. Mysterio tried to change the result from the previous fight, but Rhodes gained the victory after a Cody Cutter and a Crossroads. This is the part I was mentioning you about regarding Kevin Owens' KO. He questioned Cody Rhodes for bringing Jey Uso to Raw. The whole point of that was this. So this is the part where I'm going to get regarding that. So Cody and Sammy basically looked at that and said, Jey is a guy that deserves a second chance regardless of everything that's happened. And I think he should let us be shown by him. He should prove it to us and show us why he's worthy of a second chance. And in my opinion, I think Jey right now deserves that second chance. I think he deserves that opportunity. I'm not going to go that far and say he's completely innocent. He's far from it from all the crap that he did with the Bloodline. But I think for what I'm looking at with the story right now is that Jey deserves that second chance to be proven as to be a member of the Raw roster. And basically, what KO said was, I will never trust him, but if you guys trust him, then I trust you, and I trust you, Cody. All I can say is, I just damn better hope you're right. I damn hope you're right. And he just threw the mic down, walked out. So after that, Kofi Kingston defeated Ivar in a really tough match. So as Erik was unable to be medically cleared, Kofi Kingston took on Ivar of the Viking Raiders in lieu of the 2 out of 3 falls match that was originally scheduled. Kingston had a rough go with his innards going splat after Ivar leaped onto him with a huge splash outside of the ring. But Kingston's resolve kept getting tested after he was hit with a beautiful double underhook powerbomb. In a jaw-dropping moment, Ivar hit a soliciting top rope moonsault that almost put Kingston away, but the former WWE champion kept fighting with a sunset flip powerbomb and Trouble in Paradise to get the win. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Ricochet via disqualification. Oh yeah, Ricochet was fed up. So, before the match, Seth made a beeline for Shinsuke, who was fed up after weeks of his rival's ambushes. Ricochet proved to be a match for Nakamura, lighting up Salt Lake City with aerial dives, with Ricochet providing blitzing offense. Nakamura went for a steel chair, but however, the one and only took the weapon and blasting his adversary in the back, but because of this, Nakamura won by DQ. And then Shinsuke injured Seth Rollins' back again. So again, Shinsuke is targeting Rollins' back. He's still targeting him. The big question is, I'm still trying to figure out why he's still doing that. My guess is because of the injury. I guess, um, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. But like, I think that the biggest thing that I'm looking at when it comes to WWE right now is that they love to use the ability to exploit injuries, and I think that with Seth right now, the biggest concern that Seth has with his back problem is the fact that it's a 4-year injury he's still dealing with. So the big question is, how much longer is Seth's reign going to go for? We all wish it could go for a long time. We all do, but you have to think of the health of not just the wrestler but the person. Those aren't stunt doubles taking those falls. Those are athletes, wrestlers taking these bumps and going through this pain. And then moving on down the line here. So Nia Jax, I told you guys about her. Nia Jax returned back to WWE. She keeps on attacking people, and she's not stopping either. She attacked Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler. They used to be a tag team too. Big Braun Serene defeated Chad Gable. Becky Lynch defended the NXT Women's title against Natalya, and it was very interesting seeing how the NXT title was being defended on Raw. So that was really interesting seeing that match, and it was a good fight too. It was a damn good fight. Tommaso Ciampa defeated Giovanni Vinci. Sometimes it's hard to pronounce these guys' names, but And then this was the main event. It was the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre versus main eventist Jey Uso. But what happened was this. Do you remember me telling you about that answer? Was Jey going to join Judgment Day? He said no. He super kicked everybody in sight, but unfortunately, that allowed McIntyre to recover and hit a Claymore from the corner to win it. But then Cody Rhodes, this is the final part about that night. McIntyre refused to help Jey from a 3-on-1 ambush, but Cody came out at the end of the night to help Jey. And they eventually, I didn't see it because it was off air when they took it off, but they embraced off the air. And right as the camera took him out of the live broadcast. But guys, I'm telling you right now, it seems to me like Cody has earned that trust to Jey. It seems like Jey's earned it from Cody, and Cody can trust Jey. But the biggest concern is, how much more does Jey have to prove right now in order for him to start turning some heads around and start being what he used to be before he turned heel years ago? I believe with what Jey's got going on right now is he's doing everything he can. And here's what I know regarding next week's Raw. Does it look pliable? Cody and Jey can form an alliance. But here's the other truth. There's a rumor going around that Kevin Owens is going to turn heel and turn on Sami again. If that ends up being the case, could we be seeing a new alliance with Sami, Cody, and Jey? Think about that. KO will never trust Jey until he sees something that will make him trust him again. Is that the catalyst of what we could be seeing down the road here? Fastlane's in 2.5 weeks. Survivor Series is in 2 months. Think about a lot right now that's riding on this. Jey's been in the main event. Jey was in the main event of Raw on Monday night. Unfortunately, if McIntyre's turning heel, that's not going to be a good sign. But here's what I'll do for you guys for next week's broadcast. So next week I'll have the Raw results, and I'll also give you guys the update from this Friday Night SmackDown regarding Cena and what he is looking to do as we make the turn into October. I'll have some updates for you guys around that sense. I also want to have you guys send some prayers out to Mr. X Jr.'s father. I don't have an update about him yet, but I know he's still battling his problem right now with his health. Mr. X Jr. is also battling some health problems right now, so we're praying for Junior and for his father too. You guys can just keep him in your prayers. That would just be a really great thing right now. Um, but yeah, so next week I'll have the Raw results and the SmackDown results as we get prepared to get ready for Fastlane, which is coming up very soon, guys, and I can't wait to get that card ready. It's not there yet. There's still ways to go, but we're getting there. So on behalf of Mr. X Jr., wrestling promoter Tony Jones, and my dad Edward Dunn, and the man behind the scenes of Rhode Island Broadcasting, Ron Rigo, this is Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been another presentation of I'm Done with Sports here on 9. Sorry, this has been another presentation of Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Guys, next week I will see you there for the last one of September as we're making the turn into October. Happy fall. And I hope you guys are able to keep tuning in. Like I said, every Wednesday at 5, right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And as well as Red Circle, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and TuneIn Podcast. Guys, until then, I'm Erik Dunn. Ron, take me out. I'm out of here.